How's it going, guys? Welcome to this episode, this review. We are talking about Colette here at the Sundance Film Festival. To start us off, my name is Ryan, and I'm a cinemaholic.
My name is Spencer. I'm a cinemaholic.
And I'm Bella, and I'm also a cinemaholic. So, like Ryan said, we're reviewing Colette, and I'm just going to read the synopsis. The story of a marriage, Colette shows the lengths one woman must go to escape her husband's control and claim her voice as an artist. I didn't like that synopsis. But anyway, what did you think of that movie?
I liked it. This movie, I ashamedly didn't know anything about this person. Didn't know that it was a true story or anything like that. It was pretty remarkable, the things that she had to go through and the things that she was able to overcome and power through and represent in the end. This movie stars Keira Knightley, and she gives a good performance. It's not the best performance I've ever seen from her, but it's a really solid performance, and I think that's kind of across the board. Everyone in this movie shows up. There wasn't any point where I was like, ugh, they're just here for a paycheck. But I really enjoyed the style and the pacing and how they ended up making the movie, and the costumes were quite something else. And so overall, I think it was a fun one. What did you think?
Yeah, I think other than Atonement, actually, this is my favorite Keira Knightley performance. I thought she was terrific in this movie. This movie has a really engaging plot for the most part. I think like the first act, it takes a little bit to get to the point where she starts writing, which is, if you know anything about the real life Colette, then she was a writer, and she didn't get credit for her own work. And this movie is very, in lots of ways, like it's about somebody who is progressive in a time that didn't really allow her to be progressive. And I also think Dominic West does a really good job, gives a really great performance in this movie. I guess my biggest issues with this movie are that it could have used a little bit more conflict in the whole entire central conflict between those two characters. I felt like it was slightly brushed over, but that being said, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I thought that it was a lot of fun. It was really interesting. It was unlike any period piece I'd ever seen. Like Ryan brought up the costumes, but also like the production design, the way that they show parties in this time period. I think it's kind of shown in a way I haven't really seen it done before in a period piece. So I had a fun time. It's a little bit overlong, I would say.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I agree. I thought it was a really long movie, but I really enjoyed it. And I think one of the biggest things for me is that it's a story. It's not like other stories that have been told about women that created something, like they were an artist, or they wrote books, or they would paint or anything like that, and they never really said that they were women. It was more like they had to put a fake name, like pretending they were a man, because they wouldn't be accepted and they wouldn't be able to sell their work. So I really enjoyed this one because she goes through all of that process, and she's like, you know what, I'm just going to say that it was me, and then she, I wrote those things, so I'm gonna fight for it, and I think that's really awesome. And one thing that I really enjoyed as well is that you could see the first half of the film, it was late 1800s, and it was more really I don't want to say traditional, but different from the early 1900s, which it kind of changes after the first half. It changes everything, and everyone becomes obsessed with her stories and with her books. And then you see how it changed from late 1800s to early 1900s, which I think is really awesome. And it was more accepting. It was a time where people just could create stuff, and they didn't care. So I really enjoyed this movie, and yeah, I think the performances were really great. And yeah, that's it for me, I guess.
Cool. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10 raccoons. I really did enjoy it, and I did like what you just brought up of the whole kind of revolution that was Colette, and seeing that they were making gum and they were making soap, and everything was branded and labeled Colette, and or not Colette, because that's her name. What was the whatever the
it began with
characters?
the C.
Yeah, it did start with a C, and that's
We've
why I
seen
was
like 20
confusing
movies,
it.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I really did love the fact that was the first time I had seen an older movie be able to like really pull off that branding. Like, this is a thing. So I really liked it. What'd you think?
Claudine.
That's right, yeah. I would give this one a 7.5. I enjoyed it a lot. I think that it's very well made, very well performed. Like I said, just some sections of the movie drag a little bit more than others and don't feel as well paced.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give it a 7.5 as well. Yeah, and I think it dragged a little bit, but it was a great movie.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and for checking out all of our Sundance reviews. We do have a playlist on the channel that has all of the reviews that we've been able to do here at Sundance, as well as some Q&As. So make sure to check that out, as well as at the end of the video, there's going to be some videos that you may potentially like, some good suggestions. So click on those. Make sure to subscribe so you can be up to date with future festivals, as well as the rest of Sundance Film Festival. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. And until next time.